Hey, ladies and gentlemen, sorry I'm not wearing a dress shirt today, but I came up with a new video idea that I thought I'd share with you. We're continuing these modules on how to create an employee workplace wellness productivity newsletter for your company. And one of the most common searches that I see on the internet are people who are looking for how to write employee newsletter articles or employee newsletter article ideas or what kinds of things they want to write about. So I know a lot of people are staring at a blank screen. And I have had those experiences in my distant past, but I finally came up with a way to help me solve these problems. And I'd like to share that with you because I think it'll help you keep yourself from staring at a blank screen and getting very frustrated. Because if you continue to do that, what's going to happen is you're going to start hating your job. And if you start hating your job because of one essential function that's been handed to you, then the newsletter is going to start to drop off. You're going to think about quitting. You're going to, and eventually you're going to go to a what I call a tri-monthly. You try to get it out. And this tape is designed to help you not experience that. So let's go to a letter I wrote where I spend time discussing in the letter the things that you can do to find article ideas. Now, I've gone through about 6 or 7 years worth of newsletters that I've authored, and I have put into all articles into 12 different topic categories. And these topic categories are on this page right here. So what you do is you set yourself up like 12 pages in a binder or 12 pages on your computer, and you have these categories. One is, let's get me shrunk a little bit here. One is workplace communication. Under that, put the following words: handling conflict, personality control issues, dealing with difficult people and attitude problems, negotiating and increasing cooperation, that means between employees, getting your point across, being assertive, and improving listening skills, etc. By the way, if you email me at dfapublish@aol.com, or you just contact me by going to workplacenewsletters.com, I'll send you this document, no problem. The second category of articles that everything I've written falls under these 12 categories, but category number 2 is worker productivity tips: managing time, organizing work, setting priorities, stopping procrastination, remembering things, stopping interruptions, completing work. Now, the reason I have, as you can see, I've subdivided these categories with these different phrases and these different subtopics. But you can continue, and I would strongly recommend that you continue to do this, that you add to these more than what I've done. And you can brainstorm these in a classroom or in a meeting with your staff. In just about a half hour, you can double what I've put here. But these will be keywords that you will use to search for article ideas. And I'd also like to recommend that you go to the U.S. government website, usa.gov, and use these keywords there, because you're likely to find federal government public domain information that you can use to help serve as springboards for articles that you write. Let's continue. The third one is family, home, and community. Thinking green, knowing, and that means ecology and climate change. That is, many employees are into the concerns and worries about climate change, and if you address their issues, you'll get high readability with your newsletter. Knowing about consumer product safety, parenting children and teenagers, safety at home, elder care issues, family stress, budgeting tips, increasing marital harmony and couples harmony, work-life balance, etc. For personal fitness and emotional wellness, exercising, getting more energy, improving nutrition, understanding mental illness, self-diagnosing conditions, seeking professional help. Periodically, I'll put an article in the Workplace Wellness newsletter that I author on specific personal problems or helping motivate friends or family members to get help for personal problems. And I write very short how-to tips on these things. I also help people I also frequently, a couple times a year, I will write an article that lets people feel safer getting help for their personal problems, either through a professional counselor or some other sort of self-help process. Because what you want to do, what you want your newsletter to do, is to help people take steps towards solving personal problems and issues, because everybody has them, and most people sit on their personal problems for long periods of time, and they get worse. So personal effectiveness and goal achievement, getting more done, improving self-awareness, motivation and using inspirational thinking, planning ahead, sticking to New Year's resolutions. Oh, by the way, with regard to this one, sometimes 6 months into the year, I'll say, looking back, how's your New Year's resolution doing? And getting people fired up about it, because a lot of people drop off within 30 days. And people really like that. Managing money, there's tons of tips in that area. Developing mediation skills. In other words, how to resolve problems and conflicts. Staying positive, etc. You know, people like to feel positive. People don't want to feel bad. They want to feel up. They want to feel excited about life. They want to feel excited about their work. They want more meaning out of their jobs. And always make your newsletter articles have a positive spin. If you're talking about depression, talk about overcoming it. Don't talk about how bad it is. Always put a positive spin on any problem in terms of it resolving it, overcoming, achieving, preventing, rather than just talking about some issue that doesn't leave people with something in hand that they can take away and put to good use. Team building, holding better team meetings, reducing conflict, improving communication, staying cohesive, being a team player, getting more done, sharing the work, stopping lateral or horizontal violence. By the way, that is similar to bullying, but it's a peer-to-peer kind of conflict, and often seen in many types of industries, particularly nursing, which has spent a lot of time discussing this particular topic. Improving relationships with your supervisor, communicating better, knowing what the supervisor wants, completing assignments, making an impression with your boss, knowing how to read between the lines, planning for better performance reviews. There's a lot of employees can do to be happier in their jobs if they're proactive in getting ahead of the game with regard to their performance review and anticipating what's going to be needed a year in advance. Hot productivity topics, hot productivity health topics, learning about health issues in the national news. You know, right now there's a big fear of measles, and people would love to see an article on avoiding measles contagion. It'd probably get a very quick read if you put that in a newsletter right now. I might even do that in June, or I already have the May newsletter set because I published a week or two early. But that particular topic, I'd write that one down because it'd be good. You can get that, and you can get information from the USA.gov on that really quickly. But preventive health tips, alcoholism and drug abuse. You know, I've done articles on the opioid crisis periodically. Where to get more information about specific conditions, giving and getting support, practicing self-help. Stress management. Stress management I see as a separate topic. Using stress management tips, avoiding burnout, making self-assessments, recognizing signs and symptoms of stress and dealing with them. Getting help for personal problems, how to find help, learning to use the company employee assistance program. Does your company have an employee assistance program? Let me tell you right now, I'm hoping that your company doesn't have a 1-800 EAP or a 1-800 number for helpline. They're not they're not as effective as live body employee assistance programs. But you can, if you do have that type of employee assistance service, you can push people to take advantage of it by mentioning it in your newsletter. And I would suggest mentioning that in every newsletter, because what you're trying to do is help people get help. And mentioning that is marketing the easiest way to access help. And 1-800 any kind of employee assistance program is covered by very strict confidentiality laws, and most of them are very strict. In fact, EAPs tend to be stricter than your doctor's office, because they follow drug and alcohol confidentiality laws most of the time, which are the strictest confidentiality laws written by the federal government. Lots to discuss about that topic, by the way, but I'll continue on. Getting help for personal problems, how to find help, okay, when it's time to seek help. Workplace safety, injury prevention, and recovery. Avoiding risky shortcuts, preventing injury, thinking safety, building a culture of safety in the workplace, thinking about safety, getting back to work sooner after an injury, recovery at home issues. A lot of people get injured. They go home and they start fighting with their spouse, and other issues go on at home that actually contribute to the employee staying out longer, not coming back earlier. A lot of times, employees will call the workplace, or supervisors will call the injured employee, and they'll get in conflicts over the phone, this sort of thing. Customer service and customer service stress. So I've just gone through 12 categories, but this one in particular, millions of employees work in the customer service arena, and they're always looking for, how to have a better attitude, how to deal with difficult customers and difficult people in general. Patients, consumers, these different types of customers, staying positive, keeping customers happy, and reducing related stress to being a customer service person. There's a lot to know in that area, and there's a lot of training in that area as well on the internet, but you can find really hot tips for your employees. So I'm going to stop there, but if you want this document that gives you all these ideas already printed for you, send me an email at dfapublish@aol.com. If you'd like a trial package of frontline employee, you can go to workplacenewsletters.com and click on the shop button, and you can download for frontline employee a 3-month package of information. And you don't have to pay for anything, but you'll definitely get 3 months of relief from writing newsletters. By the way, if you subscribe to Frontline Employee, you'll get a masthead or a professionally created nameplate, and you can name the newsletter whatever you want. You can take articles out of the newsletter and put your own information into the newsletter. In other words, use this. In fact, I recommend to people use this left-hand side of the newsletter that you're looking at right here as a place where you put news. And if you don't have any news, keep the articles. Or if you only have a little bit of news, put it right there. But the rest of the newsletter will be productivity tips that your employees will love. So I'll stop there. So let me know how I can help you, and call me if you feel like it. I'm always available at 1-800-626-4327. And thanks very much. Take care.